Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Sukalia Brown. I am the author of the upcoming sci-fi romance novel, The King's Summit. So as you could tell from the title, today I'm going to be giving you all the rundown of everything that I went through to get my cover for The King's Summit. And at the end of this, I will be showing you all that cover. Okay, so starting out, the first thing that I did when I started looking for a cover designer was I went to Google. And that was, I would probably say, not the best thing, because it's kind of like looking for water in the ocean, you know? There was just too many options, and honestly, I was looking for the best of the best here. As an independently or a self-published author, I did not want to go down that route or those pitfalls that some self-published authors fall into, which is really crappy covers and this is not, this is not me shading any authors for their covers or anything. I just know what is generally said about self-published authors, that their work is not up to par or not as good as traditionally published books. And I did not want that said about my project. I knew for this that if I was going to do this, I was going to put my best foot forward. I was going to present something that to the average observer, you couldn't tell that this wasn't produced. You couldn't tell that this wasn't published by some big publishing house. That played into my decision to go with a larger graphic design company. And I found two that I narrowed it down to two. The portfolio for the company that I ended up going with was, I guess, more eye-catching. And that company was eBook Launch. They had two different packages on their site that I was looking at, and one of them was a combo of an ebook and a print cover design. That was a total of $5.95, and the other one was just for the ebook cover. At the time, I wasn't sure if I was going to do print versions of my book, so I just went with the ebook package, which was $497. Now, this was by no means cheap for my first novel and me being self-published, but as I said, I wanted quality in here. And eBook Launch, on paper, it looked great, and starting out, the process was exactly what I was looking for. I had multiple people contacting me. There was the project manager who contacted me, and there was also the design lead. She contacted me. All of these people were constantly in communication with me via email, and it made me feel confident that I was in good hands. I guess when things started to go wrong was around the 2-week mark. So on their site, they have a guarantee that your project will be back to you in 2 weeks' time. That's their estimated time, or it was on their website. I haven't checked it since then, so I don't know if they've updated it, but back then their time for getting your project back to you was 2 weeks. 2 weeks by this time had come and gone. I reached out to the graphic design lead and I asked her how my project was going, just for an update. She told me that their illustration team was a little short on designers, so the estimated time was more like 5 weeks, which was fine. I had given myself enough of a grace period, a buffer between my pre-launch process and when my book was set to be released. So I told her, no problem, I can wait. At the end of the 5 weeks, I got their first concepts back, and they were not good. I'm not even sure how else to say that, but they weren't good. The problem I had with the covers was that they were too busy. This is one of the things that I absolutely did not want for my cover. And I specified this when I submitted my initial request for project management, which was a simplified, elegant cover. Now, you may say, like, how can these be elegant? I just did not want that cover where there's, you know, multiple floating images. There's a woman over here, there's an alien here, there's somebody with guns shooting here, there's like a whole action scene in the background. I did not want that. I wanted a simple, beautiful, elegant cover with maybe 1 or 2 images on there. And I wanted those images to be cohesive, seamless, not looking like a bunch of cut and paste images. So anyway, at this time, I still wasn't stressing. What I did was I drew some sketches myself and I sent that to them, letting them know, hey, this is more so what I had in mind for this. I sent them 3 sketches and they chose one of them. And the one that they chose was a design that contained a horse, and the other image was of my female lead, my main character, Jaya. Now in the sketch I sent them, Jaya was more so the main focus and the horse was an illusion. So you saw bits of the things that make up a horse, but you didn't see the whole horse. It was alluded to, just a little bit. The concept that they sent back to me was completely different. The horse was front and center and it was huge. It took up most of the cover. And my female lead, she was at the top of the cover, in profile and in shadow. So it really, from looking at this, you could not tell that this was a science fiction novel. It looked like a book about horses. And maybe fantasy because the horse had some flames around it. So maybe you could probably say that it was a fantasy cover, but it was definitely a horse cover. And also my problem that I had was that my female character, her complexion was very light. Now, nothing wrong with her skin tone being light, but that is not how she's described in the book. I got back to them, let them know, hey, I sent them some images of character inspiration and specifically told them this is what her complexion should look like. And I would like to see more of my female character. The horse is not the main character of this book, and I did not want it to be the main image of the cover. They were saying, well, we chose this sketch for the ones that you sent to us because we felt like it was a more dynamic cover. We feel that the horse is mysterious and it's evocative, and we would really like to understand why you want this woman to be front and center. Because she's my main character. I just let them know that the female character is my main character. The horse is not, and that is why I want her front and center. So from there, they emailed me back that they do not think that they can make a compelling cover with just this female. Going back to their website and their portfolio, there were plenty of covers on there with females where the cover was just a female, and that was probably one of the reasons why I chose this company, was that they did covers with beautiful women on there. Now, their portfolio was mostly beautiful white women, and this one was a black woman. So I had to really think, like, is that why, this is playing into why they feel like this is not going to be a compelling cover? Because there is this stereotype or in the book industry that covers with Black people on the front do not sell. I emailed them back and I was like, I don't understand what you're saying by compelling. Are you saying that if we put my female character on the front that it's not going to be a good looking cover? And their response to me was yes. At this point, even though it was time wasted, I emailed them back. I would like a refund on my money. And I moved on. So from there, I started really looking for a smaller, I was no longer of the mindset that bigger is better. I wasn't looking for a big company. I was looking for an individual graphic designer, someone who I could communicate with directly, get a feel for who they were, and if they were open to doing designs with Black characters. So I went to Fiverr and I landed on this young lady. Now, long story short here, because I don't want this to be a super long video here, she is a painter, not necessarily a graphic designer. So she was trying to get her footing in book cover designs. So we got into the project and she was excited about doing this Afrofuturist cover, which for me was a breath of fresh air to have somebody who was actually on board and excited about this project. It made me feel like, okay, I'm going to get what I want here now. This is a new day, everything's different. And it was. She sent me the concepts, her initial sketch, and it was absolutely beautiful. She drew a young lady. She was beautiful, she was mysterious. The background had these very vibrant colors, which is what I wanted. And I was blown away. It was a beautiful sketch. So I approved it and she went on to the painting phase. Now, I should say that I did not know at this time that she was a painter. I was operating under the assumption that she is a graphic designer. For her being a painter, revisions meant that she would have to do an all new painting, which was difficult for her and a lot of work for her. And to, I guess, circumvent that, she was trying to talk me out of the revisions. So I ended up getting a refund from her as well and moving on from that project. I found another person on Fiverr and he is a graphic designer. From the time that I contacted him to the time that I had my finished products, the PDFs for all of my covers, that took a total of 1 month. And I had everything that I needed, which was an ebook cover, paperback, hardback, and promotional material. And he gave me all of this for $130. $130, and I got the book cover of my dreams, which is right here. Now, if you follow me on social media, you have seen this cover before, plenty of times actually. So that is just my nod to anybody else that you should be following me on social media. You're going to get exclusive content much earlier than you're going to see it on this channel. But anyway, that is it for today. That is my story for how I came to get my cover for the King Summit. And yeah, as I said, I'll be uploading a lot more videos, and I hope to see you in those. Until then, bye. This is Boots. She is the Blue Point of Blue Point Press.